Yes, there are those who remember the Buddha, the Sangha, or the Dharma. One to say, well, we're taking refuge in the Buddha. I'm taking refuge in the Dharma. I'm taking refuge in the Sangha. But what if we don't have a Sangha, an association of like-minded devotees in a certain location where we are? What if we don't know what the Dharma is? And what if we don't know the Buddha? So we have a process that's been revealed to us about taking refuge in the spiritual practice. Just three things we want to be able to do. Three things. Come out of the material concept of life. See the self as spirit. We're spiritual beings having a material experience. The problem is we're identifying as being the material without being identifying as being the spirit. We're the spirit, a presence looking out through this material body. We are presence. And the goal is divine presence, which is the energizing force of all bodies, regardless where they are in this Jagat, this material atmosphere. So we say that we could recommend that a person repent. We do repent, atone. Our spiritual practice is our atonement. We repent for what we did when we were so full of ignorance, so deep in illusion, so deep into the bodily identification of life. We did a lot of crazy, stupid things, ignorant things, things that we repent for now. We're very sorry. We ask forgiveness of our Supreme Being for our stupidity in the past when we were sinking ever deeper into the mire of ignorance, identifying with that material body. So we can say, we can repent. Well, we repent. We do repent. We do praise and thanksgiving. We praise divine presence, knowing that divine presence is the indivisible, undifferentiated, supreme, absolute existence, the remover of all sins and ignorance, the source of all glory. So we choose to associate with the most pure so we can become purified. So we say, see the self as spirit, call the holy name, call out the holy name, and offer everything to divine spirit. By doing this, we're cleaning all the dross, all the contaminants, all the pollution off of our very being. This divine presence is always here. We're already here. And the more we clean up, the more we purify, the more the radiance, the effulgence shines through. This effulgence, this light that we already are. It's already been within us, always been here, quietly, waiting for us to turn around. We say waiting with scare quotes, but it's been always here. It's always here. It's in our ignorance, we've been looking out, trying to get fulfillment from the material creation. And because we are spiritual beings, we're spiritual beings. We can't hear that enough. Someone might say, well, what is Brother Peace talking about now? He's talking about the fact that we are spiritual beings. He's saying that we should offer everything and call out the holy name. Calling out the holy name was inaugurated, congregational chanting of the holy name was inaugurated some 400 or 500 years ago by a teacher out of India. They call him Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhu. He's a great spiritual teacher, Chaitanya, spiritual teacher. And he inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy name. However, he did not bring the holy name, chanting the holy name, to town, quote unquote, to town. Chanting the holy name has been a spiritual practice throughout the world from time immemorial. All religions, if you look closely, we have the chanting the holy name a Sufi Muslim, he might say Allahu. Certain Muslims might chant Allah all the time. We've seen Christians who chanted the name Jesus, 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 and went into trance. We've seen the same with Hindus in Bengal. We've read about it, heard about it. And we've also seen Hindu ladies who come about 11 o'clock in the morning to the temple, and around 1 or 2 o'clock, they'll be in trance, starting slowly, Om Namo Shivaya, Om Namo Shivaya. And by 1 or 2 o'clock, the rhythm is going on. There's a trance, the vibration, the energy, the frequency in that room will be electric. If we look throughout the world, we can see some sort of chanting the holy names. We say the holy names because these names have been chanted since time immemorial in this universe. So for our purification, our spiritual practice of purification is to come out of that material identification, come out of that concept that the self is a material being. The self is that which witnesses this body. The self is eternal. The self has no birth and no death. But in illusion relating to that material body, we're relating to birth and death as being us. And those extensions of our body as being our relatives, our friends, etc. But the real self has no birth, has no death. It is truth. We say to be truth, it should always be here. Gandhi is quoted as having said, he didn't have a name for Supreme Being, but if he had to name it, he'd name it truth. So we say that the Supreme Being, to be truth, it should never not be here. It should always be here. I know that sounds like an oxymoron to say never not here, but it should always be here. It should have no beginning and no ending. And this is the nature of the self. And this is who we really, really are. So our spiritual practice is to chant the holy name, offer everything. Why are we offering everything? To divine presence, because this helps us to remember divine presence. Helps us to clean all these poisons, all that anger, lust, greed, illusion, madness, and envy out of our existence. Those are the pollutants that stand in the way of us and God realization. Those are the instruments, the soldiers, if you will, of ego. That ego must be reduced to nothing, zero. And we do this by our purification process of calling out the holy name, offering everything, and seeing the self as spirit. Gradually, we're freed from identification with that ego. It's like we have a donut, and you see we have the space within the donut, right? This is like unto the dough of the donut. Now, the more we engage in our spiritual practice, the more this donut, the dough pod, is eaten. Gradually, there's no donut anymore. But that which is inside there, so-called inside, goes back to this which is infinite. It's like having a clay pot full of water. We put that clay pot into the river. Over a period of time, that water within the clay pot merges with the water of the river. The clay pot, what happens? It gradually dissolves back into the clay of the river, and the water merges with the river itself. So our spiritual practice is our practice of calling out the holy name. And that's nothing new. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy name about 400 or 500 years ago. But chanting the holy name has been an intricate part of our spiritual practice since time immemorial. Whatever holy name you have, whatever name you see, is the source of all virtue, source of all strength, source of all purity, source of all unity. Chant out that holy name, because those names have been chanted in this universe since time immemorial, and we can hook up with them, so to speak, and gain power. So chant the holy name, see the self as spirit, and offer everything. And this way, we're purified again. purified back into our original position as in unity with divine presence. This presence which is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, eternally. Constant remembrance of divine presence. This is our taking refuge. Constantly calling out the holy name, even with our incoming and outgoing breath. When we drink water, while we're drinking water, internally, calling out the holy name, offering everything, every drop of water, every morsel of food, every step we take, all of our thinking, feeling, really being, offering, offering, offering. This is our service, this is our surrender, this is our submission to our supreme being, divine presence. We are offering everything, calling out the holy name, and seeing the self, the spirit or presence is our refuge. This is our refuge. This is our strength. This is what is really giving meaning and purpose to our existence here. Taking refuge. Taking refuge in divine presence. Offering service and render. See? You know why we do that? So we can always think about divine presence. Often thinking about divine presence is what helps to purify us. Bodily identification, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy, that ego, that false self, false sense of self as a material body. Because the self, the spirit, you have no material designation. No race, no creed, no color, no nationality, no religion, none of that temporary stuff.
People wonder why I sit under this tree, and I think of Buddha sitting under the tree.
Very good.
And
Very
I
good.
don't, I'm happy down here with nature.
That's contentment.
And my cats. And some people tell me they envy me, that I can sit here under the tree. It's a wonderful experience.
Yes, yes. Because we are love. We are unconditional love.
Yes.
And we don't wait around so much to recognize, oh, what a nice child. It's all right when we're meant to meet, we're meant to meet.
Yes.
But you mentioned the Buddha, so let's keep it up there with him. You remind me of a story. Buddha Kashyapa. Kashyapa was an older person. He was about maybe 30 years older than Siddhartha was.
Mm-hmm.
But when he met, the etiquette is when we meet someone who has less knowledge than we have, we try to learn from them.
Yeah.
When we find someone on the same level, we just dialogue, exchange, and have sangha, you remember. If someone has more knowledge about what we're trying to get to or awaken to, we learn from them. Take the dust from their feet, put it over their head. So Kashyapa met Siddhartha. And he recognized Keshyapa had a lot of disciples, and relatively speaking, a lot of disciples there. But when he met Siddhartha, he recognized that he had more knowledge than he had about enlightenment and how to attain it. So he became Siddhartha's disciple, even though he was older and had more disciples than he had. He became a follower of Siddhartha. And the etiquette is, when you have, no matter how many disciples you have, when you meet someone with superior knowledge, all right, morning. You meet someone with superior knowledge, you go to them to try and learn, and all of your disciples come along too.
It's lovely.
So he brought his disciples, and he became a great follower of Siddhartha.
I asked you this before. We read Siddhartha back in the 70s, the hippies.
That was Hermann Hesse.
Hermann Hesse.
Or I'm talking about Siddhartha from the foothills of the Himalayas. The Prince Siddhartha.
Yeah.
His father was the king.
Yeah. Have you read the book?
Siddhartha Hermann Hesse?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, years ago.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Siddhartha.
That was the book.
He did so many
Everybody
things.
was reading that. And Be Here Now.
Of course.
Everybody was reading that.
Siddhartha was like a hippie, wasn't he?
Yes.
He tried so many different
Jesus
things.
was a hippie.
Of course. And we are too. We are too, in a way. But look, but anyway, he brought his disciples across to Siddhartha. And one day, later on, Siddhartha...
The eye of God is like shining down.
It's so always. Yeah, always. So anyway, so what happens is one day, sitting out in the forest, Siddhartha had all the disciples sitting out around him, and Keshyapa was out there too, color close to him. But Siddhartha held up this beautiful, very fragrant flower, and he showed it around to all the disciples. And the disciples said, "What is he doing now? What's going on? What does that mean? What is he doing now?" They started mumbling and coming. And he looked at Keshyapa, and Keshyapa just smiled. And Siddhartha said, "You understand." You understand? So what is he saying here? Some of us can interpret that as meaning life can be like that beautiful flower. This so-called material life. Can be very beautiful, smell very sweet, but what's happening one day? It's going to wither like a gardenia. You see how the gardenia is so beautiful for a while, right? And gradually.
Have you touched a magnolia? Have you seen a magnolia bloom? The magnolia is I think, the most beautiful flower ever created. But if you touch it, it leaves a stain. Next time you see a magnolia, just go up and touch it. It'll leave a little brown spot.
We will. So see, we want to.
Excuse me.
It's okay. But where we stand, the spirituality that we are sharing, there are three major things. First, come out of the material concept of life. You're more or less already out of all of us, more or less to some degree. Come out of that material concept of life. The beginning of that is to see the self as spirit. Like, I'm looking out through this body. I'm not that body. I'm not the body with the soul. I'm the soul with the body. I'm looking out through the body. So we see the self as spirit. We call it presence. And this supreme being, who some call God, or Buddha, nature, Brahman, we call it divine spirit. We say it's the power of the energy of the sun. So we don't worship the sun. We worship the source of the power. Of the energy of the sun. And this we call divine presence. Yes. And all of us are within it, but it can not be contained by all this creation. All the creation, maintenance, annihilation that's going on in the cosmic manifestation, it is unaffected. And so like this in the material world, as spiritual beings, when we come out of that material world, we can watch it as a Gita. You're familiar with Bhagavad Gita? Yes. Say you're the knower of the field of activity, Kurukshetra. Remember the battle of Kurukshetra. But this body is like the field of activities. But I'm the one who knows the body. See? So we come out of the material concept of life, come out of the material world, see the self as spirit. Yeah. Transcend these races and classes and creeds and color and all this other nonsense that goes on in the name of civilization, so-called civilization.
Well, speaking of body, I need to feed mine.
Okay. Look, let me. If you don't mind, if you mind, I won't finish.
Yeah, I'm
gonna finish this. So you can
okay, good. That's fine.
Just two other points, and I don't have to force these. We don't force it.
I know.
Okay. See the self as spirit. Offer everything. You feed the cats, which is great. But we say even offer that. See, we say see and serve God in the cats. serve God in each other. I'm saying God, but we say divine spirit. Gradually, by practicing seeing God everywhere, because God is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. So seeing God in each other, gradually we see there's no other. There's only God. There's a unity. God is a unity in all the diversity. And Jesus, selfish spirit, offer everything. Offering, service, surrender, submission, they're synonymous. So when we serve the cat, we're actually serving God.
Oh, that's good to know.
And call out the holy name. Whatever holy name you have, if it's Yeshua, if it's Jesus, if it's Krishna, if it's Buddha nature, whatever name you have for this divine presence. Okay. Those are 3 points that's our message. Do this and we can complement the spirituality that you already have.
Thank y'all.
Well, more blessings to you too.
I love y'all.
We love you evermore.
I will see you next. I will see you next.